Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Tom Stewart here. I'm with Liz Trotter, and our guest today is Trisha Lake. This is Smart Business Moves.
Hey,
What is today?
Trisha.
Hello.
How in the world are things going in Fargo?
Crazy, yeah. In
Are you
Fargo here, we
feeling
had
any- Go ahead.
even
Trisha.
prior to COVID, we had I think it's like the United States, like world's lowest unemployment rate. We talked about that one of the times at Foundations, and so with COVID now, it's like just even worse.
So,
Just
what is
hiring
the
people.
unemployment rate? What is the unemployment rate up there?
Right now, I don't know. I know before COVID, it was. I think right now it's 5%, which I think is not horrible for the situation. But I think before COVID, it was like 1.5%.
Oh,
So,
but it's not an apples and apples comparison, though, because
no,
before COVID, there
people
wasn't
wanted to work.
all the other, yeah, it was. So
Now we're fighting our other competitors.
Yeah, it's a different scenario right now. That's
Yeah.
for darn sure. Yeah. You can't really go by unemployment rate at all.
No, it's interesting to watch though, because knowing pre-COVID, we had only like 1.5%, and even now, if it's at 5% or whatever it is, that's a big increase. And we have employers just begging people to work here. I mean, you can get it's just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
The jobs are definitely
everywhere.
Yeah.
It is really hard. So I have been approached recently, though, by a few people, more than one, that wants to know about coming back to work here because their government jobs are requiring vaccines.
Oh, okay.
So they're like, yeah, I don't want to work there.
Right.
So,
yeah, I have a few really good nurses that work in the emergency rooms and incubating client patients and stuff, and they work all through COVID with no additional pay or anything, and they're looking to hanging up their stethoscopes because of this. So it's be interesting.
because they're being required to get the vaccine.
Because they're being required to, yep. And then in our area, we're starting to see big corporations starting to require it. So we have Blue Cross Blue Shield just announced that they're going to be requiring it. And I don't know, just crazy. So it might change the game,
Yeah. I've already had people approach me about it. So coming to work, I'm like, hey, all right.
Yeah.
So far, so good. Yeah. For me.
I'm going to hang outside like hospitals with tents saying.
All of that. And this is the capital here. So we have a lot of government employees here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm thinking there's going to be a good chunk of them that are not going to want to. There's some, definitely. I know there's a lot of anger. So
yeah, definitely.
I'm sure I want to bring all those angry people to work here, though. I'm a little nervous about that.
Yeah.
Do you have customers asking about, are your employees vaccinated or not?
Me or Liz?
Yeah, either one of you. I'm just
curious. Well, we did, and we don't get it anymore, really. But I was pretty stern with my office team, and I just said it's the truth be told is I don't want anyone knowing anyone's personal business. And so when our clients ask, our customer service team just says, unfortunately, we're not allowed to disclose their medical history. However, if you want someone to mask up, we're more than happy to. And we've had a few cancellations, but hardly any. So it's not affecting us at all client-wise.
Have you had cancellations or just skips? Ooh, that was loud.
I think I'm not sure. We've had a couple cancellations, literally 2 or 3. But just because COVID numbers are going up and they're getting nervous, but really nothing that I am concerned about changing anything for.
I have had a few, but not very many. I have not had. So for a while there, my office staff felt like it was everyone. I hear it
You were
now.
getting a lot of feedback.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I mute myself.
Test.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it. If you can turn the
Yeah.
volume down on your computer, sometimes that helps.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds
might-
better for sure.
Okay.
No,
I'm on my laptop. No, it doesn't.
no. When I talk, when Tom talks, you're okay, but it's when I talk. But anyway, when we started actually tracking how many people there were, it was very, very few people that were actually calling and asking about it. But initially, they're like, everybody's calling and everybody's wants somebody that's vaccinated. I'm like, give me numbers, give me real numbers, like digits, not everybody, nobody thing. So
Yeah, and we have it to where it's like our email reminders and our text reminders have like a little thing notation at the top, and it just simply says, if you would like your cleaning technicians to wear a mask, please let us know. And so people are responding to those and saying, hey, thanks for asking. Yes, I do. But the majority of people are saying no. There's just, there's, I would say 10% or less that are asking for so. And then we just notate their account and do so. So.
Yeah.
We don't have an option here. You have to mask up.
Yeah, we've been doing the mask thing all along. The question of vaccinations comes up occasionally. Honestly, I don't know to what percent. Liz, you're doing something interesting on their name badges. You actually have like a hypodermic needle or a needle with a red circle and a line through it.
Yeah.
So it's right
Says
out there
they're
for
vaccinated.
everybody.
Yeah. So, and it worked out well for us because the people that are not vaccinated don't want to get vaccinated, and they really like it saying on their name tag, no, I'm not vaccinated. And the people who are vaccinated really want people to know they are vaccinated. Yes, I'm vaccinated. So I'm like, all right. So yeah, it's worked out well. They can't talk about it. So they feel like, because can't talk any politics, so they feel like they at least get to get their voice out there with their name
Point
tags.
to their badge.
Yeah. So yeah, well, it's getting crazy. I know at least one, actually multiple people right now that are in the strategic success groups are down to a bad place. 2 companies here in Washington. One of them normally has, I think, 8 employees. She's down to 1. All 7. The other 7 are all in quarantine or have COVID. And then I just saw Chantel from she's just a little ways up north from me, maybe 40 minutes up north. And she just said that she's right back to where she was with everybody in quarantine. And I'm like, dang it. There's quite a few people. There's, yeah, like, closing down again.
Yeah, we unmasked probably 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago. And we didn't get any feedback from it at all. And we haven't had any COVID cases in any of our staff. We had 2 in the very beginning of COVID.
I'm knocking wood for you, Trisha.
Yeah, one they got from their roommate because their roommate was a nurse. And yeah, so we've been doing good here. And everyone, at least in our area, is, I mean, I hate to say over it, but they're just, you probably live in an area that is more just different than where I'm at,
Oh, different parts of the country are definitely handling it differently. That's for darn sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we have concerts, like we have huge concerts going, and we had all kinds of stuff already.
We just had a big festival, and now they're like tracing back to all of these people, the huge percentage of people that are all coming down with COVID. So my son's ex is a nurse. She's a COVID nurse. And she went to the festival and she's like, oh my God, everybody's getting sick now. What the heck? Why? So they're tracing it back to this festival that she went to. She's like, I should have known better. Oh, yeah, you don't know. So she's hoping. She's quarantined.
Is she sick?
She's not sick.
Okay.
No. They quarantined her just because such a large percentage of the festival is coming up positive, testing positive. She's not sick at all. She's not testing positive yet, but she's vaccinated. So, I guess if you're vaccinated and you test positive, they test you again in 2 days because of the back of the throat thing or whatever. I don't know what that whole deal is. She explained it to me. I only 70% listened. My SOP.
You sound like me now. Okay. So the topic for this month is leadership. And I guess there's a pretty strong relationship between leadership and team building. And during, trying times, certainly strong leadership can make a big difference in building a team. Tricia, I know that you've got a really successful business in your market. You basically own Fargo in the house cleaning industry. So I know the labor market's tight, but at the same time, I mean, you guys are you back to where you were pre-pandemic? How's the state of your business now?
Yeah, we are bigger than we were pre-COVID right now. So I'm trying to think, like pre-COVID, I think we had 35 techs, and now we went up to, well, I guess I can't remember how many techs we have, but we went up to almost 60 employees, and now we're trailing back down to 50. We have like a mental health crisis basically happening in our company currently. So we are implementing a crap load of stuff to take care of our staff mentally right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Talk to us more about what you're doing. I've seen a few things that you're doing, Tricia. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Okay, but before you do that, could you first explain what a mental health crisis looks like? I mean, I want to be respectful, but I've seen a lot of things happen, and I don't know. We might be living in a mental health crisis and not even know it.
It's a good question. It's a good question, though.
Yeah. So if anybody knows me, knows I'm kind of a hard ass. This is kind of who I am. And so we started to notice that call-offs were excelling. And yep, our company has grown a lot, so we're going to have more call-offs, of course. But I just wasn't sitting easy with the amount of call-offs we were having each day. And so that led me to, the truth be told, get a little feisty with some people. And then that led me down the path of figuring out why these people were calling off. And I swear 90% of the situations were mental health. So anxiety, depression. We had a gal pull up into our parking lot one day to go to work, and she had an anxiety, like panic attack, and she left. And so we're like, what is causing this to happen? Because our company culture has always been really good and really strong. And so to me, if something is broken, I want to figure out how to fix it. And so to me, this says, hey, something's broken in our company right now. And so, we started talking about it more and more and more. And there's so many of my employees that have so many different things going on. We have one that right now is fighting through cancer. And we have, multiple other ones that have just traumas in their past childhoods and things like that are kind of just getting brought up with a lot of the depression and things like that in our life right now. And 95% of all the things the reason why they weren't making it to work had nothing to do with our company, but it had to do with their personal life situations. And so I thought, okay, well, how can we fix this? And so right now we're working on bonus structures to be able to start offering our staff things that are going to be beneficial for their mental health. So massages, chiropractic care, yoga classes, all these different things that I think is a way to nurture them in those manners. I also did a group therapy session in my company. So the other day, I put out a notice to anyone that was struggling emotionally or mentally, that they could come into the office at 5:30, and we were going to have a powwow in my office. And 12 people came, and 12 people cried, and 12 people still told their stories. And I learned a lot about those 12 people. And I learned so much that, when they're calling off, it's not that they're playing hooky, and it's not that they hate the company or hate me or things like that. They have some serious things going on in life. And so now we're trying to develop, how can we help them? So,
wow, that's a tremendous amount of trust. I mean, people, what do you, I mean, can you imagine what your team members, your employees were thinking? It's like, gee, if I do this, am I going to get fired? I mean,
yeah. I heard of, drug addictions and, child molestations in their childhoods. I heard pregnancy losses. I heard so many different things that has just happened to people. And with all this COVID stuff the last year and a half, and being away from people and all the stress in people's lives, I think it's compounding right now, and it's really affecting some people. At least it is for me, in my company. And so we're trying to figure out avenues, what we can do. And so one of the things we're now going to do is we're going to have monthly group therapy. So once a month, it's on the calendar. Whoever wants to join or whoever wants to come can get and sit and talk with each other, and they get to tell their story and talk about the things in their lives. But it was like a week ago, I think, that we did our first one, and it was so healing. And I had so many employees reach out to me saying, I just want to say thank you so much. And I haven't ever told anyone this, and all these different things. And so that's one of the things we're going to be doing. The other thing I've been doing is I've been doing a mental health check-in every day, where they have different stars that, I just kind of put a thing saying, hey, how are you doing? And it has, purple star is not very good, I need help. Blue star is I'm struggling. And it goes up. And every day they're rating how they're doing mentally. And so for me, it's a gauge of, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? How can I help them?
What do they do with the stars? Is it something?
Yeah. So let me show you here. It's pretty cool. And at first, the truth be told is I kind of thought I was annoying them by me posting this, because I'm doing it every day. And then they actually said something to me the other day, and they're like, I just want to thank you for doing this. I'm like, oh, I'm not annoying you. Good. So here's the picture. Let's see here.
Okay.
So the picture just has different color hearts and then different meaning. And then they put the heart color emoji of how they're feeling. And it allows them to be able to just get out their feelings, and then their coworkers can reach out to them for support if they need to.
So are you texting that to them? Yeah, what do you mean?
We use Slack, so we have a group communication channel. So this is under work announcements that goes on there daily.
Okay.
Another thing that we're doing, you cut me off because I have a lot of things we're doing, but another thing that we're doing is we're creating custom goals for each employee. So, what do you want to do? We create bonuses and systems in our company. And so, do you want to, on your goal list, do you want to buy a house in the next year? Do you want to buy a new car? Do you want to go back to college? And so we're trying to create custom goals for each of them. And then we're going to be using that for their bonus system. So when they earn, $10 bonus, it'll be going towards their specific goal so that they can achieve something that's very important to them in their life.
So will their bonuses go there automatically, or will they have the option to put it there?
So how our system works is it's an app. I use Automate Motivate. And so you get rewarded and you get points for everything. Cleaning out your vacuum at the end of every week, cleaning your company car out, getting perfect attendance, quality scores, all these different things. Yeah. And then you are rewarded these points, and then you can save your points for whatever you want to. So right now there's Subway gift cards, massages, oil changes, just all kinds of stuff. Dream vacation, there's a $3,500 dream vacation. So they can save whatever they want to, but I see so many of my team members using their points for stuff that I don't find very meaningful, like, just little silly things. And I thought that if we can help them work on their goals together, and we can create, a custom goal in there of, let's say, Sophie wants to travel to New York City really bad. I'm going to say, Sophie, I want you to go make me a budget of what it's going to cost you to take a trip to New York City that you've always wanted to do. And so she comes back and says, okay, I did it. It's going to cost me $2,500. We'll create a goal in her thing saying, hey, you need this many XP points for a trip to New York City. Because the happier that I can make them in their personal lives, the more fulfilled they are, the better coworkers are going to be and the better teammates are going to be.
So it's up to them to take that money and put it in a cookie jar or something. You're not doing that for them.
Well, we don't, it's not money. So it's XP points.
Points.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an automate motivate.
They don't get to touch. They create goals and they can spend the points how they want to. So if they really want to buy just Subway gift cards, they can, or they can save their points up for their dream item.
Got it.
And so they can just spend it however they want, but everybody's going to have this goal that's in there. And your thought is that most people are going to want to save toward their goal.
I hope so. And the truth be told is I'm probably going to remove some of the silly things off of there that I don't really want them spending their money on, because I want them to achieve their goals.
Right. You want to be able to reward them for that. So I love that. That sounds like a great idea. And you're doing all of that in Automate Motivate?
Yep. And then I purchased the Dare to Dream program from you. And so I have to get my team together to do this, that Dare to Dream program to be able to come up with their goals.
Yep. Well, it sounds exciting. It does sound like you have a lot of stuff going on. What have you noticed just since starting to put some focus on this? Have you noticed anything or with the people calling out or not, right? That was what you were trying to address initially.
Yeah. So we really started hammering this probably about a week and a half ago because of the issue. We've lost a good handful of employees because of it. So, when I wasn't as caring about the situation, I was annoyed by the call outs. I didn't handle it probably the best way, and so they wanted me to be more mushy and I was more stern. And that doesn't always sit well with everybody when they have personal life things happening. And so since we just took a look back and decided to change this, we're starting to see some better, but I mean, it depends day by day. Our hope is in the long run, we will create better and healthier people.
Well, I got to tell you, Tricia, I kind of like that you're telling us this because it really ties into what I'm always saying about matter, meaning, and measure, right? You're making the people feel like they matter by talking about these things, and you're bringing some meaning into their lives with the goals, and you got to measure on there too, right? This is what we're measuring and tracking. So my thinking is, you're hitting all those. Add a little bit of autonomy in there for that little A, and I can't imagine that it isn't going to make a huge difference in your business. Even if you still have a few call outs, I think your retention is going to be way better than other people in your area. So I love that.
I just checked my stats for the day because I just posted it. I posted our measurement thing 45 minutes ago. And right now, every single one of my employees is above the line, meaning good. So that's all. We have 13 people right now who have voted. Their shades, let's see.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
All so yellow, orange, or red.
So there is no green, blue, or purple today right now. Now I can't say there's not going to be, but
when they vote, does everybody get to see how everybody's voting?
Yeah. Or everything is really open in our company. I mean, we do everything open. So when someone breaks and damages something, they have to post it in this open communication channel, and when they call off publicly. And so everything is open.
So are you at all concerned that people who are maybe in the purple aren't just going to want to post, or whatever the bottom one is?
Well, we always know what's going on. And the truth be told, well, so let's find another day. Here's another day. So there was like 6 blues, 1 purple. So blue's not doing well. And so everyone's been pretty dang open. Now there's, I'm sure, a few people that I know of that haven't posted on here because they're shy to, but I was really impressed. I had one of my employees recently had a tubular pregnancy, and she hasn't really came out about it with anybody. She's pretty private. And she messaged me about the group therapy, and she's like, I really wish I could go. And she's like, I just don't think I'm ready to talk about it yet. And she's like, but I really hope it goes well for everybody. And I'm hoping I can go to the next one. So we have a pretty good, finger on knowing where our employees are sitting mentally. And so our hope is really to start just being open and communicating. And the cool thing is in that group therapy session, I learned things about employees I've had for years that I had no idea, that I thought I knew everything about. And they learned things about their coworkers, which truthfully bonded them together. And then, there's 2 particular people have gone through the same thing that was in that group. And so the next day, my manager put those 2 together out in the field and said, let's improve and let's allow them some bonding time,
Did you share as well in that group?
Yep, I did.
All right. So, so one of the things that I like about what you're saying is, like, I do not recommend that every company out there hear what Trisha's doing and just go and start a group therapy session, right? Because that's not going to work for everybody.
I'm scratching it off my list, Liz.
Good job, Tom. Yeah. Tom, you pointed out something that I think is critical for people to recognize, is the reason why that's working for you is because the people do trust you. If there wasn't a high level of trust, first off, nobody's going to show up. And then if they do show up, they're not going to share. So that high level of trust already speaks to the leadership that you have going on in the company. And before you ever, and they even noticed this, right? That there was a problem and thought, okay, I'm going to tackle this problem as well. I'm going to do something about it. But a lot of people aren't, I mean, none of us are qualified, right, to do it, but a lot of us aren't capable either of doing it. And without making things worse.
This is really an innovative approach, I guess. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm saying that I'm not aware of anybody else in the industry that is doing anything like this. And in a tight labor market, a lot of times our go-to solution is we need to spend more in Indeed, we need to be hiring more, increase, benefits, pay, whatever. It's all about hiring. And really, taking care of the people that you have and helping them be more productive might be a more rational way of spending our time at the moment.
Yeah, my goal has, the last 5+ years has always been to take really, really good care of my staff. And that allows my staff to take really, really good care of our clients. And so seeing my staff struggle, it's hard for me not to take that personally, because I've worked so hard to make sure that's not the case. But looking deeper into this, I've just realized it's really not us. I mean, it is a lot of life situations all piling up on people, and people are stressed. And so if we can figure out ways to nurture and take care of our current staff, that's really, it's the same thing with a client. It's so much easier to take care of a client than it is to keep chasing new clients, But if your bucket has 1,000 holes in them and you're losing all your clients, you're just going to have to work 5 times harder. So the number one goal always needs to be is to take care of staff, take care of clients,
So I'm kind of just role playing this out in my head. And I can appreciate that being able to share your story with somebody else can make the load lighter and can be helpful. It could be cathartic, I guess maybe is a fancy word for it. But a lot of the life's challenges that people are dealing with, they need help. And does the discussion go in a direction where, this is my problem and, can you guys help me solve it? Or is it just a matter of listening?
I think a lot of it is listening. And then again, we're going to work together on those goals of how to help them, And so one thing we're looking at as well as an employee assistance program. And what that means is we're going to be setting up, we actually have a meeting tomorrow. It's called The Village, and it's a mental health facility here in town where our goal is to be able to get linked up with them. So if we have an employee that's having an emergency mental type situation, they have an immediate therapist they can go see tomorrow, and that therapist will see them 1 or 2 times, and then they'll make a referral, and they'll get them in somewhere for a long-term situation. And so just having the resources for my team, I think is going to make a big difference.
Wow.
But I mean, in that group therapy, one of the common things that I seen in there was loneliness. So of the 12 people, I would say 99.9% of them were all just lonely and wanted more friendships and wanted more time and things like that. So, that made me say, okay, well, I need to have more TLC get-togethers to get their coworkers together. So I created a TLC event page on Slack where every 2 weeks now we're having something. Tomorrow we're having arts and crafts night where we're doing string art. And then in 2 weeks from that, we're having something else. And so basically helping them with just that social side of things that we're starting to lack because of COVID.
Wow.
Hoping that things aren't going to shut down for you in your area, because that's really been that's always been one of our strategies, is to keep that calendar going. So we have weekly activities that are team activities, and then monthly in-person activities. And thanks, Tom. And COVID really made it hard to do any of the in-person activities. So, and that was only once a month. So doing them every 2 weeks, that is, that's ambitious to get everybody together like that.
So when you say weekly team activities, what's a team activity versus getting everybody together?
I don't know. Team activities are just things that you might do online, like everybody, like a game that we might play. First person to send a picture of whatever, a lamp with fringe wins, right? That kind of thing. Just fun stuff. Just a regular activity, but not getting together activity.
Got it.
I always wanted to do a scavenger hunt.
Scavenger hunts are a blast.
I haven't figured out how to.
Really? You have one in your foundations material, Trisha, in your team builders pack. There's probably one for Halloween, one for Thanksgiving, one for Christmas. So there's a lot of them. They're pretty easy to do. They're very easy to do. The thing I find hard to do is bingo.
Oh, yeah, that's what in 2 weeks from this next one or whatever is bingo. We have bingo at work.
Okay, bingo is fun in person, but it's really hard online, like through Slack or something. It's really difficult.
It's kind of like Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, we tried to do Wheel of Fortune in this group, Trisha. I don't know, a few months ago. It was painful. And we tried multiple times. We're like, okay, we got to be able to do it. It's got to be better. No, it wasn't better.
Nope.
No.
We're not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Leave it up.
No. Learned our lesson there. Yeah. not everything works, right?
Right.
So Tricia, one of the things you said earlier was that you like to really care a lot about your people, and then they care a lot about your customers. What are some of the other things that you do, have done, that are along that line? I know there's a lot of them.
Yeah, what haven't I done is more it. I mean, we normally always do like once a month things. Like we take a bus, an hour and a half out of town. We load up a big party bus type thing, and we go an hour and a half out of town and go sledding and with our company and their families and stuff. We do regular like dinners and things like that out. We do big barbecues at my house with bouncy houses. We do. Oh yeah, I forgot this. I rented out a camp recently.
Oh yeah,
And we had about 100 people go. There was 13 cabins that hold 12, 13 people each or something like that. And so we rent the whole campground out, and it had, paddle boards and kayaks and huge things for kids to swim on, and full commercial kitchen. And we all went out there for the weekend, so Friday through Sunday, and that was the first time, and that's going to be a yearly event for sure because that was fun. I just sent one of my employees to Disneyland for her 10-year anniversary. So we have like excellent benefits like medical and dental and vision and 401k and all kinds of stuff. So
do you pay 100% of your benefits, Tricia?
No, I pay 50% of medical, and then dental and vision are super cheap for the employee because we have a group plan. And so they're like $5 a week or something like that. So they pay that 100% on their own. And then 401k, we do a company match. I think we match a 2-to-1 ratio.
Oh, that's a good match.
Yeah,
that's a real good match. How many people do you?
And I would finish the sentence if I knew what the question was, but I don't.
She looks cute though.
Yeah.
Was that me? Did I?
You
get
did.
lost?
You
Sorry,
very
y'all.
froze.
Yeah.
How many people
it looked
do
like you guys
you?
did. Do you have that participate in your 401k program? I have never been able to get traction. I've tried it multiple times and never really got traction with it.
It really tells me a lot about people if they take our medical and go on 401k. If they don't, it makes me a little worried. And not everyone takes it, and I really wish they would because it's like an instant pay raise to them.
Yeah.
But the people that are thinking, hey, I want to long-term be here, they're all invested into it.
Yeah.
So you can,
nice.
I can feel out which of my employees are looking to stay here long-term and which aren't.
Yeah, that makes sense. I have just never had good luck. I'm wondering, I always thought it might have something to do with like the age of the people that I hire. I would get buy-in from
kind of ages
older people. A lot of young people. So, in their 20s, I start seeing buy-in more with the people that are in their 30s, 40s. But
yeah, and for us,
don't get a lot.
We have very minimal 40s in our company. We have a hard time getting them to stay because of physical, work-wise. So the majority of our staff members are between 20 and 35. Except for our office staff. I'm the youngest in our office staff.
Yeah. We don't get any men that are old. All of our men are young, always.
Yeah.
Never have older. It's not never. Actually, I can think of a couple that were older, but the majority of our men are young.
Getting your demographic to participate in some of the benefit programs can be difficult, though. It's like, if I'm in my 20s, what am I thinking about retirement? I got a long time to go.
For us, what we did is we had an insurance our insurance guy come in and talk it over with everybody and like kind of explain everything. And I feel like that was really good because previously we didn't do that. We just kind of gave them a form. Hey, do you want to do this? Do you not? And they'd all say no because they didn't understand anything. And a lot of times this is their first job that they've ever had these benefits offered to them, and so they just didn't understand it. So once we started having presentations and stuff like that, we do once a year now. It really helped people to understand, to not be scared of it.
Yeah.
We do definitely have better buy-in with everything that we have somebody come and present on. Definitely been better doing that versus just, do you want to do it? No.
Yeah, if so, it's just scary for them,
Yeah. Hey, Denise. Hey, Denise, do you have any questions for Tricia? I don't know if anybody else is on this. We never can see who's on here until you guys comment. But if anybody else has any questions for Tricia, she's one of those people that is pretty much an open book about most everything, not just in her company, but everywhere. If you have never, that's true. That's true. If you have never followed her Facebook page, you should. Hey, Linda, you will have.
I got clients arguing clients on there, all about walnuts and everything else.
What? I didn't see that. Why were they arguing about walnuts?
Because I posted, the more you can get people to bicker, the funnier I think it is. So it was that post about it was like
a heart or something, but it was a walnut or
I remember that. It was like a lung of somebody who like smoking.
Oh yeah,
dope.
the lung.
And it was
this is what happens for marijuana lungs, right? And then all these people are arguing about that's a walnut and all this stuff. It was just really funny.
Yeah, I do remember seeing that now. I didn't see the arguing, but I saw the post. I was like,
yeah, it's pretty funny.
It's interesting. They got a walnut on here. Was that a mistake or? Cool.
Yeah, well, that's what they thought. I think they thought that I like seriously didn't know it was a walnut, and so then they're like, "That's a walnut," and I'm like, "No."
That's not. Argue with them. No.
You guys just don't know what a bad lung looks like. This is what
and
it looks
then
like.
Yesterday I put this picture of Britney Spears. Do you see that one?
Yeah.
And it says it talks about like a side note of Britney, and it tells a story where Britney's in line at Kohl's and she sees a sweet little boy, and she gives him like great great talk that he can be anything he wants to be when he gets older. And this little boy's name was Steve Jobs. Mm-hmm. And so then people are arguing on that. They're like, "What are you talking about? Steve Jobs was born in."
All right. So
it's just funny.
All right. TLC Cleaning, if you guys want to follow Tricia's page, because I'm sure she would love to have cleaning business owners following her page. Anything we've been battling in the last few months. Yeah. A lot of people are hearing about the mental health crisis that's going on right now, that COVID is really just causing so many people to struggle with their mental health. So,
which unfortunately, when they struggle mentally, then they call off of work, and then they struggle financially, and then they struggle more emotionally. And so it's this revolving circle that it's hard to get them out of. And so we definitely have to just try to figure out ways in this new weird COVID world of how to nurture people now,
unprecedented times. I don't think a lot of people, I don't think they want to do anything about people's mental health. And I don't think that they are, most of the time, they're not willing to. I just don't, I'm not going to go there. So I'm sure that a lot of people are thinking, no.
But see, it's that, I think of everything in our company as this circle, right? So if my staff are not doing well mentally, they are not going to take care of the company well. and then the company is going to financially struggle. And then, everything is that circle. So the more you want your company to do well, you really have to look at that whole circle and say, okay, well, is their emotional health my personal problem? No.
No.
Does it affect your company? Yeah.
Yes.
Does that affect your pocketbook? Yeah. So now it's my problem. So that's kind of where that circular effect, you need to really think about that is we can say a lot of things aren't our problem. I've bailed employees out of jail before. I've picked them up when they have flat tires. I've, picked them up when their car doesn't work. You just do what you need to do because it's that beneficial circle of life,
Mm-hmm. Do you at all concern yourself with potential liability? Because
No.
I feel like nothing there.
Mm-mm.
Okay. And that must be tied into the trust. There must be like a two-way trust thing going on there, huh?
Yeah. This is all a volunteer basis. So this is after hours. No one's being paid for it. All we're doing is we are allowing a safe space. And so far, we've seen really great results already of just having people you can trust,
Yeah. Yeah.
So then, this is kind of from a leadership standpoint, Tricia, I mean, we've known each other for a while. Would you say you've evolved to this point? I mean, roll the clock back, 5 years or so ago, you began the whole discussion by you're a little bit of a hard ass at times.
I'm still a hard ass. Don't get me wrong on that one. I'm queen bee of hard ass, but
I love that. I mean, I love that I wouldn't maybe call it that so much, but I do think that it makes good sense you don't have to be one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
You can be strict and stick to the rules and still be very caring and very giving and
absolutely. And I think I've always been
I cut off your answer. Yeah.
I've always been that mixture. One thing that for me, hiring a human resources manager has allowed me to step out more and not be so, because I'm an emotional person. So if I'm angry, I'm really angry. And so for me to be able to have my human resources manager handle situations that I would immediately handle, not in a good way, is a great thing for me because he's like my, calm, just, I don't know, he's great. It's great. So having a good leadership in your company is really important because you don't have to be great at everything, but if you can find those puzzle pieces that are all good at each individual spots, it's wonderful. But, for the last 11 years of business, I feel like I have always been truthfully some type of therapist or psychologist because with employees comes issues, and whether it's divorce, whether it's miscarriages, whether it's whatever it is, there's always been in my company an association with that. And the more my employees can trust that they have someone to talk with, that we can help pull them out of there, the better and long term they're going to be here because this is their support system. And that's one thing that when we have employees depart our company, they genuinely miss being here. And I want them to miss being here. I want them to want to be here.
Yeah. Yeah. We've always had that very caring mentality as well. Very helpful, very caring. And it does go a long way. It really does go a long way. Yeah.
My general manager too, she's great as well. She's Iris, you guys know her. She's a very caring person as well.
Yeah.
And so if there's something that she can help with, that we're always trying to.
Linda, Linda has a question about how long do your employees have to be with you before they qualify for benefits?
Yeah, so all of my benefits are after the first 30 days, except for a few. So medical, dental, vision, disability, all these different things are all at 30-day mark. And then 401k and paid vacation are at 1 year. So for paid vacation, they start earning it on day one, but they can't use it until 1 year mark. So if they leave at 6 months, they lose their vacation.
Okay.
Okay. And why a year for your 401k, Trisha?
I don't remember.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Some companies do a year, some companies do 90 days, might be in the middle, but I think a year and 90 days is kind of the
Yeah.
two.
I think I decided
on.
on a year for vacation and a year for 401k because I wanted to know the people that I was investing in were more long term.
That makes sense to me. Yep. Yep. It might make sense as to why you're getting better buy-in for your 401k too when you're offering it at a certain point, because when people are looking forward to something, then they're more inclined to use that thing.
Right. Liz, are you wearing your sweatshirt backwards?
Always. Yes.
So when you put the
Because
hood on,
my arms get cold, but my back is hot.
but when you put the hood on, you don't know where you're going.
It's see-through, Tom. I can still see. Yeah, it's no problem.
Funny.
You can't see me. Yeah. You've never noticed that? I've always done that.
No.
Yeah. Now at Foundations, you're going to see me doing this.
Yes.
You're going to be like, what the heck?
I'm excited to see you guys. I've missed you guys.
I know. I'm excited too. Yeah. It has been a long time.
I haven't flown anywhere or any events since before COVID.
Wow.
At all. And I used to do 4 or 5 times a year meet up with everybody. So I miss everyone.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I didn't realize you hadn't gone anywhere. That's a long time.
Just the lake.
I can't wait to hear more about your business too. To me, it seems like your business is way different now than it was when you first went to Foundations.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yep. Definitely. Going through Foundations just really opened my eyes to what the possibilities were. And it just, now we don't have an end in sight. We're rocking and rolling. So
I actually, you know what? Didn't mean to be bringing up just Foundations here, but since you're on here, it's actually perfect timing. Why are you going again? This is a question that we get from people. We get a lot of alumni that go back for Foundations, and then people ask, why are they going back again?
Yeah. So Foundations for me, my big motivator is multiple different reasons, but in that environment, it was like just wow. And the first time I went, I feel like I actually knew nothing about my business compared to what I do now. And when I had so much information at me, I believe me, I grasped a ton and I utilized a ton, but there is so much knowledge there that I feel like I can learn every single time that I come. And just being around like-minded people and like-minded individuals, like I met some of my best friends at Foundations. So they're just like my best friends in it. And so if I can go back, I can work on my business, I can improve even more, learn even more, plus get to be around all my buddies. Like,
I think now you're bringing all your best friends back too.
Yes, I am. Yep.
I know.
I love it.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, you get like a week vacation, and most business owners are obsessed with their business. That's probably just normal. But you get a week to sit and talk about your business with like-minded other people, be able to work on actual strategies, and people aren't annoyed with you about working on your business.
Hanging out at the beach for the week.
Yep. Swimming pool, beach, hot tub, great food, amazing company. Absolutely. And I really do think that, because this will be my 3rd time going. And every single time I go, I'm like, oh, wow. Like, I don't even remember, like there's just always like, seems like there's more and more knowledge and that we take and put into place, and I know some of my, my best friends that are going as well. They even learn every single time we go too. So, and not only do you learn just from Foundations, but you learn as, everyone around.
The people.
You get to sit at night and sit and kind of BS and talk about each other's businesses and take things away from those. And
Well, Natalie says she wants to go. Do I understand that there's like an empty we still have an empty room? Is that, or no?
2.
2 empty
Really?
rooms now? Okay.
Yeah,
That's,
we have
that's
2.
pretty good because we had a wait list on there for a while. So
So that's in the third, that's October 3rd, 3rd through 10?
yeah.
If
Through
Natalie
10.
wants if Natalie wants more information, is there a website? What are we doing with that?
Throw it up there, Tom, cleaningprofitbuilders.com.
Okay.
And if you want more information, Natalie, go check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It takes your business from 0 to 100. Like, I mean that, you know, when I first went in there, I just hit the $1 million mark. And this year we should be closing at an easy 2.5 million. And I don't see it ending in place. And one really cool thing, I've told you before, Tom, but me getting to tour your office gave me so many ideas, and now we run 3 branches from one office, and they're each an hour that way and an hour that way. And we have no plans of stopping, because now that I've realized like how you can run it, I'm like, oh man, you can have a location anywhere you can hire cleaners.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, as long as you can hire people to clean.
Yeah.
Makes sense. All right. Well, we are a little bit past top of the hour here, Tom. Trisha, thank you so much. One thing I have always loved about you is that you beat to your own drum. No, march to the beat of your own drum. That's what you do.
We know what you meant.
Yeah.
Thank goodness, because I'm not sure I did. But I love that about you. I always learn something from you. I know that you're always learning from, you come to foundations and all the people as well, but always learning from you too. So really appreciate you coming on here and sharing with us.
You are a rock star in this industry.
You are a rock star.
And you get an amazing amount of stuff done. And,
Yeah. I appreciate it. And the cool thing too is when I go to foundations, I get even more vamped up and motivated because you have that time. I do. And I come back from foundations just like killing it because I'm all excited about all these different things I'm going to do. And so it'll be great motivation for me again.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait to see what you do with this next one.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, we're going to wrap it up for today. Trisha, as always, thank you so much.
Yeah.
We'll be back Wednesday, 5 o'clock Eastern. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye,
See you
guys.
then. Bye, y'all.